What does it take to make it as a child star? We're going to meet the woman who can make or break a young career. Next up.
Queenie van der Zandt has notched up credits in television, film, cabaret and musical theatre.
Yeah, but for the last 17 years, the performer has been putting children through their paces to achieve their acting dreams, and a large number of her students have gone on to star in popular productions like The Sound of Music, Les Mis, Matilda and even Fiddler on the Roof.
So what does it take to be a child musical theatre star?
Let's ask performer and audition teacher Queenie van der Zandt. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you both.
Now, you've starred in some big name productions yourself. You've worked with some of Australia's finest stage stars. Why originally, apart from having the perfect name to be on stage, why originally did you pursue the stage?
I don't know. I think it pursues you, actually. I think people who perform, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like it chose me when I was young. I can't ever remember wanting to do anything different. From, I think I wrote my first play when I was in grade 2. It wasn't very good, as you can imagine. But yeah, I've always done it, and it's always something I've wanted to do. It's always what I thought I would do as a career, so yeah.
So you've been running workshops to help children audition. What does it take for a child to be a star of the stage?
Well, it's a really interesting combination, because I think I've taught thousands and thousands of children over the years, and there's no end to talent. I always am just flabbergasted. I just think, my gosh, there's so many kids who can sing, so many kids who can dance, who can act beautifully. But I think what producers really look for in a musical, because it is so, it is hardcore when you're a kid in a musical. You're doing many shows a week, rehearsing for long hours. Talent, obviously, is a given, but they're really looking for kids who can focus, who can take direction, who can listen really well, and who are mature beyond their years. That's the thing, I think.
School holidays around and about the place now, so plenty of kids watching because they prefer the morning show to PlayStation or other, internet options. A lot of kids watching. What are the main do's and don'ts for kids who want to get into this business? Because there is the lure of it. It is an exciting place to be if you make it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think one of the things that's really undervalued, and I think actually also in institutions like NIDA and WAPA and all those places, is audition technique, is learning how to, because that's really the window to getting the job. If you don't audition well, you don't get the job. And so I think getting prepared, making sure that you know them, know where you're going to be, know who's on the panel, like just really doing your research as much as possible, so that brain of yours stops trying to work out what's happening while you're in a new space, you're with new people. Your brain is a million miles trying to work everything out. If you take away a lot of that stuff, you actually feel incredibly calm as you walk into a space, because you think, oh, I've been here, I know that face, I've seen that before, I've read this, I've learnt this song, I've learnt this bit of material, and then their natural talent can really shine,
Okay.
And I read in the notes that you also work with parents. Why is that?
Yeah, because I think in the courses that I run, I really train both the kids and the parents, because parents obviously have great enthusiasm for their children and want to help as much as possible.
Are you being polite to say stage parents?
No, because I think stage parents are a bit of a myth. I don't know. I've never, in my 17 years, I can honestly say I've never had a stage parent. But I'm also quite strict with my parents and how I kind of
very short leash.
Yes, that's right. So, it's part of it is that I think that stage parent thing comes from fear, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to do the best thing for their child, and so part of what we do is we give them all this information about what they can expect when they do a musical, and so that takes a lot of that panic away, and they actually kind of know their expectations are also kind of then in line with what the producers are wanting them to do.
Because it's a massive commitment. If you get picked up for something, right?
Yep.
You're out of school. You're working 12 hours a day, whatever. There's laws around it, of course. But it's a crazy whirlwind thing, and the parents find themselves having to drive that bus.
Absolutely. I know in the coming weeks they're auditioning for Matilda. Well, the Matilda company is auditioning in Brisbane, and those kids, they're wanting them to do the Brisbane season and then further seasons around Australia and I think in New Zealand, or I'm not exactly sure where else in the world, but so that's a massive commitment for a parent, for a family. It's a really big thing, yeah.
And so you do have some workshops and audition classes coming up for specific musicals. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, we're going to Brisbane to do our children's audition preparation workshop focusing on Matilda, and we're also going to Perth to do some just general audition technique for Perth, and in Melbourne we're coming back to Melbourne as well to do Kinky Boots, which will be hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cute, with the kids, yeah. So we're going to do a workship around that.
Before we say goodbye, any tips for Ange, who's desperately trying to get this chemistry thing right?
Great share myself with Larry.
Any tips? Because
because I feel
it's
that
a little
she's
clunky.
Do you think? I think she's doing very well in the yin and yang of the two of you.
Because it's hard to work with Larry?
Well, yeah,
She's taking a lot of my yin, though.
I'm not getting into this.
What'd you say?
I said you're amazing.
I bet you don't coach that to abuse the people that you're working with. Do you coach that?
Not really. I do try. Yeah.
Great to see you, Queenie. For more information on Queenie's workshops in Brizzy and in Perth, just head to our website.